Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1974 Winter Baseball Classic Tournament. We got a game today between Mississippi and Tucson. A battle in the Gulfport division. Unfortunately for Tucson, it's quite a bit of travel to compete in this division. Let's take a look at the overall bracket as we start. Here they are. We did this regionally a long time ago, and then teams moved, and then Tucson did not have a home out west, and they had to go here, where three other teams are really regionally closer together. So a little more travel. Don't worry, folks. In our little fiction, you know, all these teams probably have dome stadiums indoors, and there's high-speed light rail that can just transport them from one end of Canada to Southern California in 10 minutes, something like that. I mean, that's how kooky Madookie it can get here in glorified spring training. But let's take a look at these two teams, because the part of this process is to look at the players who are going to be playing in our summer league and do some evaluation for them before draft day. This first section of 20 players is the Mississippi team. Again, the blue colors indicate he's on a keeper list of a major league team. Yellow indicates they're on the waiver list. A green shading means that he actually is already playing in the summer league. We just ran out of players. We need some bodies. But the pink ones are the undrafted free agents or guys who were out of the league a few years. Either way, could be a guy who's never been in the league, or it's been a few years, and they're usually not that great. So those are the guys who are in their fourth look with the first year of our timeline, 1974. If they don't make it this year, they're not going to get in it. And maybe they'll have a card in the next year or so. But right now, this is the last chance for guys like Bruce Bochy, Larry Brown, Jim Willoughby, Don Stanhouse, and Luis Alvarado to get into the league with their 1974 cards. They've missed 3 straight times. So Tucson, take a deeper dive into them. They're actually leading this series 3-1. Darrell Evans on the keeper list of Atlanta. Ron Fairley on the Expos. Gary Matthews, he is on San Francisco's keeper list. Dave May, Arizona. Jim Bibby recently traded to Pittsburgh. They expect him to go in the late 70s, but a 74 card is pitching today and pitched pretty well earlier. Ken Brett on Vegas. Lenny McDaniel with the Yankees. Doug Burr with Kansas City. So some are shoe-ins with the card they presently are indicated for. But it's always nice to actually put your eyes on the cards, get them into some game action, particularly if it's spring training. Also, looking at guys on the pink list, here's an example of Ivan Morel was in our league a couple years ago. Didn't make it last year, so he found himself back at undrafted free agency. That's an example of how you can come and go in the middle of the night. So today, from Tucson's up 3-1 in the series. The team split in Mississippi, and then Tucson's won 2 straight. So today, it's back to Game 1 starters. I don't have the cards photographed yet, folks. You're going to have to bear with me until we get to elimination baseball, and then we'll see all 20 cards of whichever teams get eliminated. But we got Nolan Ryan with his 74 card. Starting for Mississippi, 22-16, 289 ERA, and 333 innings of a card that I particularly like in his Angel career, at least. Beyond this, he starts to walk too many batters, I would say. Jim Bibby's 19-19 with a 4.74 ERA and 264 innings. The only thing wrong with this card is he gives up too many home runs, but not a lot of hits. His whip is relatively low for that high of an ERA. So let's get started from Tucson. Can they win this series 4-1, or do we go back to Mississippi? Leading off for the Mississippi River Queens is Bud Harrelson. 66. Off of Bibby, 111-4. It's a double. Tommy Helms, skies the center. Bruce Bach T, 185's the center. And Jeff Burrows, 66, triple 105, and there's an RBI triple off the Bibby card. Hey, your Boog Pal flies the center. Bottom of the first, it's Bill Russell, 2-9, short. Ron Fairley, one of his 3 good cards he has in the timeline, grounds to the pitcher. And Gary Matthews, 47's a strikeout. Top of 2, Mike Anderson, stellar defense in right field, 1-3 E7. So, of course, he's going to be on Las Vegas's team. 2-6 is a K. Frank Tepedino, 43, right X. Their right fielder is Tom Grieve, a 4E3. He cannot corral that one. It's a base hit. Duffy Dyer, 57 is a K. And Larry Brown, 410, third X. Third baseman. Their 11's a 3E25. And he kicks the ground ball. The inning will continue. Back up top to Bud Harrelson. And first blush, the Harrelson card, he hits 227. I would say it's one of the better 227 cards I've seen. Of course, he's a 2 switch-hitting shortstop, B stealer, A bunter, and he walked 71 times in 330 at-bats, so that's a ton of on base. I would have completely not cared about the batting average had I not even looked at it, but I did. But still, I would definitely stand on the podium or bang the table on draft day for this year for Mr. Bud. That's going to be a single off the defense to score another run. And Tommy Helms, 65. Oh, that's the homer roll, 1-16. He's got power. Holy smokes. Tommy Helms is power versus righties. This is the thing you pick up when you're playing the game. You might miss this when you're drafting players. So Tommy Helms had 500 plate appearances with 5 home runs. They were all versus righties, and he's got power, and that's a 3-run homer off the pitcher's card. This is exactly the type of analysis we're looking for. So Helms is on Houston, and they're thinking, I like that. Can field, hit for power, hit for average. Bruce Bach T, 411, rolls the first. Not a good showing for Jim Bibby, down 5-zip. Tom Grieve, 66, double 1-7, can't catch it. Very low hit rolls on the Ryan card. He's got homer 7, triple 2, but it's a single. Double 7, single 4 on the right side. On the left side, they're all outs. Homer 3, triple 3, double 2, and single 1. That's outstanding versus left-handed batters. Another reason why the Angels should really think about the first of the 4 years for Nolan Ryan. Their 11's third X. Third baseman, Larry Brown's a 3E31. Base hit off of his glove. Funny thing, Larry Brown has a World Series ring for Oakland 2 years ago. Then they cut him in the offseason and nobody picked him up. Well, he helped to win a World Series. He overachieved. He had like a 190 batting average and he hit about 280, filled in at short and second base when the Oakland needed to in one of the dynasty years that we played. And here he is, trying to get back into the thing. Dave May, 37's a K. And Fran Healy, 68, walks off of Ryan. Pat Bork, 36 is a K. Does Pat Bork ever have a good card? Maybe it was the 73 card. I can't remember. I thought he had 1 year, but most of the time, it's pretty bad. You see a player's name repeatedly, and you're like, nah. Jeff Burrows, 55, sky's the center. Hey, your Boog Pal, flies to right. Mike Anderson, 69, second X. We have Jim Cox, a 3E29 second baseman, makes the play. All right, 5-0, Tucson. They want to win this series at home and play spoiler. They got to come back. Here is Jim Cox. 48 is a K. He was an Expo second baseman in 1974, if you're wondering. Bill Russell. 3-5, grounds are short. Bill Russell was one of the players added who is in the Summer League already, so he didn't have to play in this league. This is where I said we ran out of players, and I didn't want to use nameless cards. So it was really shortstops. I just plucked every shortstop who I called them up. Hey, you want to come play in the tournament? And they're like, I've already made my team. I don't feel like playing. But Bill Russell kindly obliged to go to Tucson and get some extra hacks in before the season starts for the Dodgers. So, thanks, Bill. Ron Fairley, 2-8, double 104, base hit. Gary Matthews, 47, it's a strikeout. When Nolan Ryan's on, folks, it's scary. Frank Tepedino, 63, first X. Fairley's a 3E15, still decent at that point of his career. Duffy Dyer, 69, second X. This is Jim Cox again, a 3E29, makes the play. And Larry Brown, 2-7 is a K. Well, 7 in a row for Bibby after the lousy start. Bottom of the fourth, Tom Grieve, 58, strikeout. Darrell Evans, 2-5, second. Dave May, 54, short X. Your shortstop is Bud Harrelson, 2E29. Makes the play. It'll be weird not seeing Bud as a one shortstop, but time has a way of doing that, and the Mets have to realize that they can't be the 69 Mets forever. And so their legends like Jerry Grody, Bud Harrelson, they're going to have to start, replacing those. Think about replacing guys like that soon. Top of the fifth, and here is Bud Harrelson. 2-4, grounds the third. Tommy Helms with a big homer in this game. Double one, base hit. Bruce Bocti, 58, pops second. And Burrows, the MVP. We got an MVP, folks. Texas has been running back the 73 Burrows card because they like it more than the MVP card of 74. Well, this is finally our first glance of using the MVP card of 74 in this tournament, and this is the exact card that the Rangers are going to draft this summer. So we're actually seeing a player we definitely know will be playing. Burrows strikes out. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the fifth, it'll be Fran Healy. Really, really nice card for Fran. Everyday player with a zero arm and full-time power. And walks. What more do you want? Left X, your left fielder. Here is Burrow's defense, a 3-8. He's a little bit better. He went from a 4 to a 3 defensively and won the MVP. Was that the only reason? Of course not. Pat Bork, 48K. And Jim Cox, 66. Double one of 7. You can't catch it all for Ryan if you miss those. And 7, and the best you can get. If you don't get them, dude's going to put goose eggs on the board. Top of the 6th. Hey, your Boog Powell walks. Mike Anderson, 37. Single one of 13, gets it. 2-on for Tepedino. 3-5 is a base hit to right field, and we have seen enough of Jim Bibby. It is just not happening. He's a starter 6 as well. So after this rocky start, it's quite evident to me that this is one of his weaker cards in the 4-year timeline, which is bizarre when you consider he's an innings eater, 264 innings, but he's a starter 6. It's almost contrary to the point, so he doesn't really go deep into games, and he just broke in this 6th inning. So he can only have 5 innings and 3 batters. And now Tucson's got to scramble to cover 4 innings of relief. We go with Dave Tomlin. Tomlin, a lefty from the Padres with a 4.34 ERA in 58 innings. He will come on in the 6th. Bases loaded, no one out. And batting for Duffy Dyer, actually, will be their new catcher, Gene Tennis. Looking for a grand salami here. Here's a pitch to Gene Tennis. 2-9 is a 6-4-3 double play. So a run scores, runner goes to third, and there's 2 outs. Tennis because of this 74 card where it's just 211, was traded in the off seasons of the Padres. They just had too many other priorities for Oakland, and he was not one of them. And batting for Larry Brown will be Paul Shaw. We also like to just get as many players involved into games, regardless of how necessary it is, just to give them all some playing time. He grounds the third. 6-0. Ryan isn't going anywhere, though. He's going for CGSO still. Bill Russell strikes out. Ron Fairley, 54, short X. If you're going to see a Nolan Ryan no-hitter, it'll probably come here versus an inferior lineup than you would in the Summer League. Doesn't have it today. He's giving up some hits. But it's a heck of an outing. Gary Matthews walks. That's the first walk in that column today. And Grieve, center. In 6 shutout innings, we got 8 strikeouts and just 2 walks. A 4-to-1 ratio. Now that's where you want to be, or 5-to-1. But often it was 2-to-1 in the mid to late 70s for during his Angel time. All right, top of the 7th, 6-0. Bud Harrelson flies to center. Tommy Helms flies to left. Bruce Bocti, 6'10", third X, third baseman. Darrell Evans made an error earlier, 3:25, makes the play. 6-0 game. So much for Tucson, with the home field winning the series 4-1. It is stretch time here in Tucson, and we are enjoying Swimming Ground, one of the classic hits from the Up on the Sun LP by Meat Puppets. 1985, the Meat Puppets LP. They are from Arizona, the Kirkwood brothers. Up on the Sun, in my opinion, their best work they did. Hot Pink, Swimming Ground. Great LP with extra stuff added, of course. Love some Meat Puppets here. Back to the game. Bottom of the 7th. Nolan Ryan's going for it. It's Darrell Evans. 67's a walk. Dave May, 5'10". K. 5'10" is often a place you'll find walks on 1 and 2 templates, and Ryan has strikeouts on both sides. Another cool thing I like about the card. Fran Healy. 1-5 flies to left. Pat Bork, 49, and that's a strikeout. Nolan Ryan is on his P's and Q's today. We go to the 8th. Dave Tomlin, nice little outing. We'll take you out, give you some rest. We'll go to Dave Sells in the 8th inning. Sadly for Dave Sells, he pitches to a 3.69 ERA, which is great. Then we look at the card and go, good. Automatic triple on 4.7, triple on a 3 on 4.6, homers and double, yeah. ERA, sometimes 1 loss record, things like that. Whip is also often the determining factor on getting guys into the league. So that's why Dave Sells has lingered and might still be lingering. He'll face Jeff Burrows in the top of the 8th. 55 short X. Russell a 3E38. Makes the play. Boog Powell, 66. Flies to right. Mike Anderson, 45. Flies to right field. Can we get one more guy? Let's get Ken Berry in the outfield defensively for the visitors, and we'll just put him in center field. Put Bruce Bocti at DH. 6-0 game, bottom of the 8th, folks. Nolan Ryan. Hey, you love to see Ryan pitching this effectively. Spring training or not, it's still a dominant performance. Jim Cox, 2.7, pops to short. Bill Russell, 67. Single on a 4, can't get it. Funny, he rolled a 7 there, but the 7 chances are on 6-4 and 6-6. Ron Fairley, 32, is hit by the pitch. That had to hurt. Gary Matthews strikes out to end the inning. We'll let Dave Sells pitch the 9th. It's Ken Berry. He's trying to get back in the league. brilliant defensive outfielder, but his stick has gotten worse and worse and worse. So here he is on waivers. If you want a 1E2 in left field, he's just sitting there. He's just sitting there in the draft for you to come pick me up, get me in the game. Surely a contender for the World Series would love a Ken Berry. So probably will be picked up for that reason. Tennis flies to left, and Shaw 65. Brown's a second. Well, the relief was better than the starters. Matter of fact, once Bibby exited, 12 up and down for Dave Tomlin and Dave Sells. These are the Daves I know. Bottom of the ninth. Nolan Ryan's going for CGSO. We'll just get through this, folks. Tom Grieve. 63, Short X. Can he get some help from Bud Harrelson? Probably. 2E29 makes the play. Same old Bud. Darrell Evans, 2-8, grounds the third. And the fans in Tucson are on their feet, even though it's the opposing pitcher, but it's something special to watch. Dave May, he fouls out, and there it is. Nolan Ryan. There you are, Angels. Go get him. 74. Heck of a card. What are the? I bet he's under 300 strikeouts, though. Oh, I'm way off. 367. 202 walks. 221 hits. He put 423 men on base. I'm looking at the cards. Yeah, the walks are here. The hits aren't. Hits aren't here. Whatever. Just saying. It's so hard to get an effective Nolan Ryan card before he ends up in Houston or later Texas. In his Angel tenure, it's so very hard to get him with a winning record in our leagues. It's just, let's face it, if you're a pitcher who just walks a lot of guys, it is hard to win in Strat-O-Matic. It really is. So that is the ball game. Ryan gets the win. Bibby gets the loss. 6-0 final. We'll go back to Mississippi for Game 6 and Game 7 if necessary. I will give you the results of those games after the break and let you know where the teams advance in the seeding. So stay tuned. All right, baseball fans, here's the box score of the game you just saw. Nolan Ryan, what an incredible shutout. 6-0, 2 hits, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. Jim Bibby, 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs. Only 2 were earned, so his ERA didn't get lit up. Nice relief work out of Dave Sells, Dave Tomlin. 3-2, Tucson still leads the series, but they have to get a road win in Mississippi. Let's see what happens. Game number 6. It's going to be a battle of lefties. Ken Brett, Bill Lee in this one. And this is all the Mississippi home team in this one. They are all over Ken Brett in this. It starts immediately. Harrelson, Helms, Burrows, Tennyson, Powell. Double, single, double, single, single. And then the 6th inning, walk, walk, single, 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 walk. You get the idea. That's all they would need. Bill Lee has a nice outing. Only had to go 6 innings. Gave up a solo homer. That was it. Don Stanhouse made it interesting in the 9th by putting a ton of men on. Still get a 10-2, relatively easy win in Game 6. Forcing a Game 7. And in game number 7, well, yeah, same thing, Mississippi. Look, they came back. Down 3-1. They rip off 3 straight wins. I know it's spring training, but some teams are playing harder than others. Ron Reed versus Claude Osteen. Kind of some interesting things here that occur in the game. It goes back and forth for an exciting Game 7. You get a walk, a fly ball a single leads to a run, double single gets a run in. You get a 2-out. You get 2-out singles by Bakhti and Powell. Home team's got a 3-2 lead. Road team gets an RBI single by Morrell. It's tied. Home team comes back again with a RBI ground out. Then a big moment here in the 6th, and this is kind of what I talked about by looking at the cards. It happened in the game you saw. It happens again. Out, double out. Then Bud Harrelson with a ton of walks on his card grabs one. Then Tommy Helms. He did it again. 2 on, 2 outs. Ron Reed gave up homers to righties. Homer 1 to 7. That's not a lot, but it still was one here. Helms caught it. He had 6. He's hit 2 power homers versus righties off the right-handed pitcher's card. If you're going to hit 6 homers, I'll take them all. Give me power and let me get them off the pitcher's card versus me chasing that down on my own card, because I think I'll hit more. And that's an intriguing twist to Helms having power versus righties. He hardly ever had power. And that completely changed the complexion of 2 of the 4 games in this series. 7-3 final. That is it. It's over. And Tucson disappointed. So now the next thing we do is we go into our bracket. And here we are with the current bracket. And again, these are last year's results. So it was Mississippi winning the series 4-3. Mississippi as a 2 seed in the winner's bracket definitely would be the, well, we're not definitely sure if they're going to be the home team, because if Memphis wins, they'd be on the roads. Let's just stick Mississippi here. And Tucson, again, if New Orleans loses that series, Tucson will get home field. So we'll just stick them here for now. We don't know where Mississippi or Tucson will have home field or road field advantage until we get the results of this other series. But that's how we plug it in as we incrementally go through the Winter Baseball Classic. So congratulations to folks in Mississippi. You just got a 3-1 comeback at the start of the tournament. Mississippi last year was 5-4. And then what did they do? Then they were 7-5. And then here, they won again and were 10-6. But then they lost here to Missoula and finished 12-10. So they went all the way to the semifinals last year and finished 12-10. And they're off to a good start by winning 4-3. All right, thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.